It's often said that there are three components. There's quality assurance, quality improvement and peer review. So Jeff, tell us about quality assurance.
I think the key aspect of quality assurance is the assurance. It's a process by which a team usually interacts with an institution to assure the public, the community generally via other places, that we have a program that meets the standards and therefore achieves its purpose.
And David, what about quality improvement? What would you say about that as part of the accreditation cycle?
Well, the difference between quality improvement and quality assurance is that quality improvement is a cyclical process, it's an ongoing process, it's not a one-off. So that's when an organisation actually commits itself to an ongoing process of improvement. And I guess it's one of the things we hope the accreditation process will promote, that it's not just the visit, it's following up the visit and it's keeping that constant sort of attention to quality and quality improvement.
And Kate, peer review. What's important about peer review? It's a very prominent aspect of the work that the AMC does.
So we all have something that we can learn from other people, not only people who are doing the same thing as us, like college programs, for example, but people from other sectors in the health system, community representatives and consumers. So it's good to have all of those people in the process giving different perspectives, and it makes the process more reliable and valid.
So accreditation is an important function of the AMC. The structure is somewhat complicated. We have the council, and members of council are appointed by the directors of the AMC, and then the standing committees that report to the directors as a board, all of which have a different role in accreditation. In addition to that, we have a dedicated and wonderful team of AMC staff that support the work with a very high degree of professionalism. But let's just talk a bit about the way that the accreditation committees work. Jeff, you're chair of the Medical Schools Accreditation Committee. Just talk us through how your committee functions.
So MedSAC is examining the accreditation of entry to practice programs. So there's, between Australia and New Zealand, there's 22 of those programs. That work essentially works with medical schools in each of the universities that have medical programs to apply the standards to assure that the program reaches a point of credibility and reliability and efficiency and effectiveness to have graduates that are ready for the next phase of medical training, which is internship.
David, over to you. Prevac. Talk through how Prevac works.
And I'd have to say that I'm not actually the chair of Prevac, but I have been a member of that committee and I was a part of the group that drew up the framework. Prevac's a little different in that we actually accredit the accreditors, so that we don't, while as Jeff might be involved in accrediting medical schools, we accredit bodies which in turn accredit programs. So we're sort of one step removed from the coalface. Again, it works in much the same way. There would be a written submission, a visit perhaps to the organisation, and then a report generated on the basis. But as I said, we're one step removed from some of the other areas.
And Kate, you're currently chair of the Specialist Education Accreditation Committee. Just talk us through how that works.
So we accredit the 16 specialist medical colleges in Australia who operate in Australia and New Zealand. And they're running programs to turn young doctors into fully fledged specialists. And we also accredit their continuing professional development programs. They're the programs that ensure safe practice and competent practice by specialists throughout their career.
What are the main responsibilities of the committees?
So the committees, first of all, assist the directors of the AMC and the Medical Board of Australia in producing standards. So these are sets of objectives for training. We then also put in place other policies and to ensure that those standards are monitored and evaluated and in an appropriate way. We then arrange visits for the different colleges as their accreditation cycles come up, and we monitor their progress as well. And we also like running workshops for our stakeholders so that we can discuss hot topics or areas that they've been having difficulty with or things that they've been really doing well in innovation. The accreditation cycle of the specialist medical colleges begins with an invitation to the college to write a submission. And this is a comprehensive document, and we hope includes a lot of self-reflection on the part of the education provider. At the same time, the AMC puts together a team of accreditation visitors, usually a mixture of experienced people with new people, community representatives, and hopefully a representative of relevant Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander or Maori group. And then the report is submitted. So back at the AMC, we conduct a preliminary team meeting to come to terms with all the material, and then we have the visit. And that's over a couple of days at the college headquarters. But we also go out in the field and interview students and supervisors around the jurisdictions. Then we write a report and we submit it to the AMC Directors and then to the Medical Board of Australia for their approval. We also self-evaluate the process and ask the college to evaluate how they thought they went and how we went, and that's a useful learning experience. And then over the accreditation cycle, we monitor the progress of the college towards meeting conditions. And then we start the process again.